What's up there, fellow YouTubers? This is Chris back with you for another video. And guys, this is on Mount Sharp, and I'm going to get to that in a second. And this may be the actual, I don't know about super smoking gun, but it's definitely going to point out it's not what everybody thinks it is or what NASA's saying it is. But I wanted to start off to officially, you know, welcome San. I think he goes by San. I think it's Santos, but I think he calls himself San, S-A-N. He's got the channel Msss Unmasked, just like you would have a masked, you know. But this is unmasked. This is Msss Unmasked. And guys, you got to check him out. He's on fire. And he's got 3 videos out so far. And they're all high quality. And basically what he's going out of his way to show is that, well, at least his last 3 videos, it shows what looked like it could have been ancient marine life. There's openings in the ground showing that it could have been, you know, like small geysers and pushing water out of the ground, as well as standing water now. So it's pretty neat. I mean, it really is pretty neat. You got to check him out. He's just, like I said, he's got 3 videos so far, and the guy's on fire. He does the same thing. He'll talk and point out things in the video, which to me is like, I give him props, because anybody who can do this is like, you know, gets props from me, you know. But check him out. I mean, it's almost like, you know, I want to welcome to the group, because if you get like What's Up in the Sky, which you got Will over there, you got a Christian over at the Olympus guy, and then you got Msss Unmasked, and myself. And although we show different content and go about it the same way, well, almost the same way, because we're showing different anomalies. But basically the bottom line is we're all pointing out how deceitful NASA's being. Plain and simple. So, you know, it doesn't matter how you go about it, because the end result is still the same. But check these guys out. I'll leave a link for San, his channel at Msss Unmasked. Check him out. Give him some love over there. I mean, the guy is like, I'm seeing good things for this guy. So, you know, check him out when you can. All right. Here's the thing, guys. As far as the, you know, I actually had somebody comment saying, you know, man, I love your channel, love your, you know, your videos, but man, you just like, you show a lot of cars in these things. Yes, I do. And there's a reason for that. I believe that this curiosity was, you know, lowered down, because it was done by crane, air crane, into this area that's like, it was either a roadway of some sort, a freeway, call it what you will. I've been saying this all along, that Mount Sharp has like a road running right at the base of it, and I still stand by it. This video is going to show you that this mountain is definitely BS. And I'm going to show you some ways that, you know, they can easily fool you by, you know, showing you some pictures too. So, yeah, if I see there's nothing but roadways there, guess what you're going to see on the roadways? I mean, I've seen what look like cars buried 3/4 up to the roof, you know, up to the windows, the side of the car. They're off the sides of the roads, you name it. Now, you know, I know a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their mind around because of NASA. NASA states that this is nothing but a cold and barren planet, but they are coming around, guys. Now, I don't know if it's because of, you know, what we're exposing, but, you know, between me and the other guys here, both Will and Christian and now San, I believe that they may be going, hey, this stuff is out there now. Let's just kind of slip it out every now and then, too, just kind of little. Because now, first they said, well, Mars was once probably a planet like, it was thriving and everything just like Earth. Now they're saying, well, yeah, now there's water on Mars, and we all know where there's, you know, where there's water, there's some kind of life. So now you go, okay. I just read a small article on, I think it was in Georgia University. There's a bunch of young scientists there. They were looking at some topography pictures of Mars, and they're actually seeing running water now. It looks like running water, and by the topography, and they can tell by different colors and the way the landscape is, it looks like there's actually running streams. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe there actually was a civilization there that maybe like some catastrophic event just ended it all, but yet life still goes on. Just like here on Earth, if it was to kill every human off on the planet, it wouldn't matter, because chances are to be anything that lives on the ground would be able to still come out. Like, I mean, how long they said cockroaches been on the planet? My God. And they can go through, you know, they actually had tests with them, and like I think it was a nuclear blast kind of thing, and these things still survive, so figure that out. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I just don't believe, I mean, and here's the thing too, I want you guys to understand. The reason why I'm so hell-bent on Mount Sharp is for this simple reason. If you go back and you say, okay, NASA says, and JPL and anybody else has got their hands in this particular program, curiosity is nothing there. They're there to look for what could have been building blocks of life, maybe ancient or even now, microbial life, so on and so forth. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Now, they may be doing that now, meaning saying, okay, um, we believe that, because they want to send people there, so we're going to make sure that people could survive there. I believe they can, just like you and I can do right now outside our house. Um, Now, I'm not there, I don't know, but from what I've seen on here, I think they're full of it already. But anyway, so, but they're there for another reason. And what is Curiosity's destination? Curiosity's destination is Mount Shop. If you can prove without a doubt that Mount Shop is nothing but Mount Garbage, like I've been saying all along, what does that say? It means everything they've been saying about this particular, you know, this whole thing, just a rover being there in this area, is a bunch of crap. And they're not there looking for microbial life. I can promise you they're not. And I'm going to show you this right now. You can even call these structures for all I care. Because it's either going to be called Mount Shop, I mean, not Mount Shop, but Mount Cars or Mount Structures. You can take your pick. To me, they look like cars. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something just out of no pun intended, but out of curiosity. I did this. I actually put snow cars in this because here's the thing. When you look at this here, what does that look like? And I'm going to show you that about Mount Shop. If you're familiar with my videos, you'll know that each of these things. Now, if you didn't see any bumpers or anything, but you would say, okay, they're just these things sitting like this. But what is the chances of seeing that perfectly in nature? A perfect rock being buried in sand or snow. Now, a lot of pictures I have seen on these Mars pictures of what looks like you can just barely see a tire or whatever else. Okay. Here we go again. Now, you can't see anything that's got to do with a car in these, but come on. Now, even if you were in the middle of nowhere and there's no roads here at all, no houses, no nothing, and you saw these, you wouldn't be at least curious? I'd be going like, let me see what's under this. I'd be wanting to see it. Now, every bit of these cars are different. You can see there's different size cars in the background. Look at this one, looks like a van of some sort. This one looks like maybe an SUV. Smaller cars. Look at this. I mean, come on. You got to at least question it. This right here, you can tell it's a used car lot because they usually have little flags sticking out of it. But you can, as you can see, just barely see the wheels. See it? Okay. Okay. Now you can tell these are all different vehicles but look at the way they almost look identical from these here. Now, there's one in particular, I think yeah, okay, here's a good example. These are all different cars, and you can tell they're cars because they're right there. You can see the wheels right there, and you can see the front end of this one. Now, what NASA will do is they'll take a line. Now, this one's actually pretty good because they're pretty darn close, so you can't tell. This may be a car lot. But what they'll do is they'll take a line, put it over the whole top of them, and then fill it in. Any of these little spaces in between these vehicles or these things to simply hide the idea that there's multiple items instead of one. If they can mesh it all together, it looks like a ribbed area on the side of a mountain, and you'd be none the wiser. So, and then what they do is they put this orange haze over it, and then manipulate a little bit more so you can't see any detail. So, I'm not surprised. I mean, look at this. Without the mirrors, I mean, we know these are cars, but without the mirrors, you probably wouldn't know any better. Another good example, all on the side of a road. All these mirrors. Now, take all these mirrors out, just cover them with snow. You're telling me what are those, like all igloos? If you saw these all on Mars, you'd be like, well, without the trees, of course. But I mean, if you saw those all on Mars, you'd have to question that. What's the chance of having like these round things? But what NASA will do is go like this, put a line from one to the other, so on and so forth, all the way down, and then they'll fill that all in to make it look like it's one just ridge instead of multiple items, and that's what they're good at doing. So, again, there's some multiple cars. Okay, so now let's jump into this because I invite anybody to do this. Anybody. Here's Mount Garbage Shop. And this is with that old infamous road. And I told you guys I think these are all cars and that this looks like a railing of some sort. Like this might have been another part of the roadway. And right now it looks like a mountain and you'd be absolutely correct. I would not doubt that. Now, if you go back to my other videos, the series I've got is Mount Shop, not what you think it is. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like right here, it looks like some kind of weird jet thing going on. It really does. In fact, when I zoom into this, and I'm going to show you that right now, I mean, just look at it. I mean, I'm not going to move, but look at this. Nice slope down the front. It looks like multiple vehicles. It looks like just stuff scattered all over the place. All right. Right here, if you look, it's very faint, but you'll see like a line going across, a line on the bottom, and a line coming down. One goes across, down. These are mountains? Come on, man. Right, you'll see it's right here. I think it's right here. It's more of on a slant, but anyway, you can see, and there's one here. Looks like some kind of wheel well type thing. Now you're going to say, no, I don't see it, dude. I'm not seeing it. And you won't. And that's okay. But this is how I started pulling this stuff apart. Now, right here, well, I wanted to do this. I want to show you this too. Let's go over to this side. Just go as further right as we can. I'm going to go down here. Okay. Boom. Slope down. This one over here. Nice straight area. Slope down. It was like a ridge going across and then to the side. Come on. But I'm going to show you something that is going to make you, think otherwise. But anyway, here's the challenge. I got these people from space.com. One guy was, there was two guys. One was Philip and the other one was Douglas, I think his name was. And they're both saying, oh, you're out of your mind. They wouldn't doctrine these things up. And I said, here's the challenge. I want anybody, and I challenge anybody, show me a good quality picture of Mount Sharp. Completely contrasted out. Cartoonish. Cartoonish. This is the only one that looks somewhat okay. And you can just click on the image, and you can see right here, somewhat okay. But the more you get into this picture, the more it looks cartoonish too. It's a joke, guys. It really is. Let me get rid of that. Everything about anything here, it's either far away and hazed out. It's blurry as hell. It's got bad, resolution. The foreground looks okay. I mean, you can get into this one here. Now, wait. We'll see if it clears up here. Let me do this. Okay. This doesn't look half bad. It looks like the real deal, right? And even then, look at this. Some kind of weird thing here with 1, 2, 3, 4 lines in it. Look at it. Sitting right there. Anyway, you get to the top, it looks like a total pile of shit. And that's just the simplest way to put it. And this way I've been saying right here. 1, 2, that there's cars in this. Now, not right here it don't. And you can look at my other videos. You'll clearly see that. But look at this. What they do is they make everything look like, look at this. Up, goes across, and then down. Look at this. Looks like a window right here. Another opening right here, and something right there. Look at this right here. Up, goes across, and then down. See how they like manipulate it to make a height of it. Look at this one here. 1, it comes down to the back, goes across, and then down. I'm telling you right now, they did everything they could to distort and picture this stuff out. But like I said, I challenge anybody. Just look at these pictures. There's not one in here that's good quality picture. I don't care if it's from satellite. Well, now, I'll retract that statement because satellite pictures are one thing. Because they're so far away, you couldn't see any detail anyway. Although Mr. Grotzinger from the NASA crew, or from the program itself, says you can see a table from orbit, from the MRO. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. And I'm not seeing that quality. And look at this. Hazed out again. Cartoonish. I mean, anything you look at is just a bunch of crap. The picture's always hazed out in the background. It's one way or the other, it's cartooned or just hazed or something. I mean, I challenge anybody. Look, I mean, come on. That looks like a regular mountain ridge. Oh, my God. It's insane, guys. That's another thing I wanted to show you guys, too. Let me see if I can... All right, here's the other part. Like I said, there's that Mount Sharp. And, okay. I don't know if I can find this other one. Because I wanted to show you guys the difference between high quality, or HD, so to speak. I didn't want that. What am I doing even on that? Let me do this. Well, that hard drive's almost full. Imagine that. Let's go down to... I think it's newest. Okay. This picture here. This is a high quality picture of the Grand Canyon. Now, the Grand Canyon is 1.25 miles, I believe. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe off the top of my head, it's 1.25 miles at its widest point. Okay? Now, even if you were to zoom in, and I'm going to do it right there. Let's say this from this edge over to here, and I'm not sure that it is. And 1.25 miles, I can't see that kind of detail. That's 1.25 miles. Okay. Now, I don't know if I still have this. I might have gotten rid of it. It doesn't really matter. I might have gotten rid of it. Okay, let me see if I still got it in this here. Like I said, here's a good example. This is supposed to be Mount Sharp behind him. There's Mr. Grotzinger right there. John, I would have sat in that thing if that was this was one of the press release, conferences. If I seen that in the background, I would have raised my hand and said, seriously, is this like an artist rendition of this mountain? Because it looked like a child drew it. Come on, man. That looks realistic? Come on. They're just duping the public, and and a lot of people are just falling for this crap. And I got to be honest, I was doing the same thing for the longest time. So yeah, I mean, anybody could be duped. And, you know, here you go, guys. But just check that out. But anyway, there was one, and I think it was from, well, you can't see the foreground here, but there was, oh, right here. Here it is. This is awesome. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Now, one of these guys from space.com is trying to tell me this is realistic. First of all, this looks okay. Foreground, awesome. No problem. This, from that point on, is crap. Now, we can't see the front of the rover, and I'm going to assume, because it's pretty high up in the air, that this is the mast cam or the nav cams. I'm not entirely sure, but it's one of the two because it's up on the mast. Okay. From here to the front of that, now I'm going to assume it's not much further down below this picture that the front of that Curiosity is. Okay. From here to here, they're saying it's about, and I could be a little off here, about 400 feet. 400 feet. Guys, that's almost the size or the height of the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is 1,063 feet. You're telling me that's almost half the distance to that? And from the rover to here is almost 750 feet? Come on, man. Listen, if you were standing right here, let's say your feet were standing right here and you were about this tall, you'd kick that rock down the hill. And now they're trying to say from here to the front, from the front of the rover to here is 10 miles. Now, I just showed you the Grand Canyon is only like I think it's 1.25 miles. And like I said, you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. But there's still a huge difference between 10 miles from there to there. I wouldn't be able to see any of that detail at all. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I got a mountain right out back here. I don't think it's as the crow flies. It's about 3/4 of a mile. And I can't see the detail that they're showing here that's supposed to be 10 miles away. I don't care how big they say this mountain's 3.2 miles high. You wouldn't be able to see that kind of detail. I don't care. You know, maybe something really huge like a ridge, sure. Not all these little nooks and crannies and everything else in the background here. You wouldn't be able to see that. Come on now. I don't believe that for a minute. But anyway, let's get to the picture, and I want to show you. And like I said, I give anybody the challenge who's a naysayer. Just, yeah, you show me and I'll believe you. Okay. Now, this is what I've been saying all along. Again, now we're getting closer, guys. This is the Sol 540. This is the newest Sol out. And here's that road. It's just on a very upper left right here. You can see it coming down. Now, I'm going to zoom into that. I'll go 200%. And I'm going to show you right here. This is what looks like a front of a car. Now, first of all, let me back up a little bit. This not only has been manipulated, but it's also been inverted. Now, I don't know how good this quality is because it's a light picture, and sometimes this manipulation software tends to be a little bit lighter and kind of like maybe kind of distorted a little bit more. But even looking right here, look at one, goes across and then slopes down. You can actually see a ridge going across, going on the side, coming down. It looks like a front of a car. Now, it could be a very large building. I'd be okay with that too. But it is, not only is it manipulated, and you can see how they try to go right across the whole top to stop what looks like individual parts. Look at this. Right there, looks like a window. But you'll see this a lot better in a minute. See it? Boom, going across, down. Here's that jet thing I showed you. Okay, well, it looked like a jet. I'm not saying it is. But anyway, this would be like a front of a car. It looks like lights or some kind of thing and a wheel on the side. Now, not only has it been manipulated and just by kind of fudging it out, so to speak, it's also inverted. And I think, here's the thing. You're going to see this. You're going to love this. Not only is, these guys are telling me, oh, this thing's miles away, you're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. From here to that mountain ridge it's miles and miles away. You're going to see that's not true at all. Because not only do I show you, look at this, right here alone, something going across, going down, and sloping down. See that? I believe that's another vehicle. But once I invert this, you're going to see two more sitting here, right over here in this area. There's something right here, been completely fudged right out. But look at this. Goes across, goes down right here. You can see like a bottom piece, and then it goes across and then slopes right down. Come on, man. I don't know any natural rocks that do this. You're going to see it's right here. Look at it. You can actually see when it's actually manipulated right here. Wheel. It's actually ghosted right out right here. Right there. But after I invert this, you're going to see something. There's a couple of them sitting right here. But watch this. Anyway. So I'm going to jump back, look at this whole picture. Like I said, it looks like there's a car right here, the nose of it, with the wheel. There's another one facing right here. It's kind of like slanted this way as opposed to being completely flat across. It's going this way. There's something right in here that's behind this. But I'm going to show you guys, and you're just going to go, oh my God, you got to be kidding. All right, let's jump right into it. Just going to block this spot off here. Now equalize it. Now you may see this a little bit better on the very right side of this wannabe ridge. Look at this. Goes across, comes down, goes over to here. And you'll start to see these little darker areas starting to pop out a little bit more detail. Okay, right here. Like I said, I think this is a wheel, and it looks like there's some kind of lights or something in the front of this. There's something right here, and you can just, looks like a bottom of a wheel or something right there. I don't know what that is, but you're going to see in a minute. It's like, what is going on? Okay, I'm going to invert this and blur it up. Now, again, you can see there's a hair bit better in the back at the very right end of this thing. And you can see something right here. Something right here. Okay. Now, watch this, what this looks like right in this upper left corner. Watch this whole area and watch what it does. Okay, you might say, well, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, you will. Let me see if I can zoom in. I think this might be pixelating a little bit too much, but let's do this. All right, now I'm going to blur it up. Okay, now, here's the front of that, what I said was a vehicle. Look how it's symmetrical. And now this wheel would be white. Something's in the background right here, and it has these things flanging off of it or something. I don't know what that is. Look at this right in the ground. It's like just partially buried, and it has these rectangular openings. Okay, how about this right here in the back? It actually goes from way over here, comes to here, goes across, and then back up, and it has what these things protruding on it, like rails of some sort. Here's another one. Right here, this dark one facing. They're all going this way, from up there to down straight out of here. They're all like lined up. Look at this. This was one that really kind of blew my mind. This one comes down. It almost looks like you'd see like the I don't know if you guys are familiar with the old Pontiac. You can look them up there, like the '95 Pontiac Transport. Just look it up. Just the way the thing is shaped, it comes like this would be the back way over here, and it comes up, slopes down in the front, goes across, but it looks like it's on stilts of some sort. Okay, right next to it, look at this thing, pipe or some kind of weird thing going on. It comes all the way down to here, and then it has these squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it goes all the way around this thing, and whatever it is, it's sticking out. Now I don't know if this is part of some kind of weird vehicle and some kind of heavy-duty axle. I couldn't tell you. Some of these things you just can't make out, and there's good reason for it. Okay, this is where it gets more bizarre. See how they like? It looks like this railing thing is going all the way down, and it looks like it just kind of goes down. But this is where it gets a little bit more, like you can just like more truth comes out, so to speak. Look at this. Again, one, another one right here, another one right here. Now look at these two right here. It looks like it's got a wheel. And there's one almost identical. There's another one with a wheel right here. It goes across. This is the fronts. This one right here is the one that was the kicker for me. And then you got one that looks like one's facing this way. This one's facing this way. These are facing outward this way. Now watch this. I'm going to actually just do this little area and just brighten up a little bit. It looks symmetrical. This like this rectangular front is black circle right here. And it looks like there's a circle here. And then the front is facing this way. They look like, let's call them structures for argument's sake. Let's just call them structures. You can clearly see these are not mountains. No way in hell are these mountains. And of course, this is just my thoughts. I'm not saying you guys have to agree with me. All I'm saying is I don't believe that that's what this is. And, you know, I'm just seeing too many things in here that are mechanical. They look like vehicles. They're just there. And here's another thing that's really puzzling. What are all of these cigar-shaped things sitting right here in the foreground? I don't know if you guys can see that, but see how like this one's got this weird, like an arch, but then flat. Look way down here. Arched and flat. And they're all running parallel with each other. Look like they're 1, 2, 3. It's like they're just 4, 5, 6. They're all just running along, all in a row right here. And they look like they're on some kind of stilts. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell that. Let me back out a little bit. You can see that. They look like they're all in a row. And I don't know what the heck these things are, but there's clearly things up in this wannabe mountain that are not a mountain. Okay, here's what I was talking about as far as what look like cars. There's one right here. You see the back of it? The wheel? You can actually see what looks like the seams of the door, and it goes like this. Like the person would sit right in here, and it goes down, comes up, and then it's kind of obscured by this white line. There's something right here. I don't know what this is. There's something, 1, 2. How about this little one? This other little car, or whatever this looks like. It looks like another little car sitting right here. Window on this side. See, like that one goes down, it slopes, comes down, wheel, 1, 2, comes around. Now, these are not miles away if these things are here. I mean, you can clearly see these things are scattered all over it's all over the damn place. I mean, look at it all. There's something else that's really distorted here. I can't make out what that is. But these are not miles away. It's as simple as that. These are like right there in your face kind of thing, and these things are scattered all over this ground. Here's another thing too, and you guys won't see this very clearly because I didn't. But I want you, a lot of you guys are into this hardcore, which I love because you guys will be able to give me a take on this. But this area here looks like it's got more things lined up and what looks like an actual road going off into the distance. Watch this. Now I'm going to zoom in here to 300%, which is really crap. I mean, it doesn't help at all, but that's okay. And I just moved it and just messed that up, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and blur it. Okay, let me see. All right. Now, you'll see something right here. It looks like right here goes up, and it looks like it's got a little roof to it, like it's the side of a car or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and enhance that a little bit. Let me see. Okay. Well, we'll do 40% for the heck of it. Why not? Okay. Now, you can see right here, it looks like a width of a road, and it goes down and over to the left. But it looks like there's a bunch of things lined up right here. Now, it looks like I said, a side of a vehicle. You can see the bottom is straight, goes up like this, a wheel well, and it kind of goes up and has the rooftop. And it looks like whatever they are, I don't know what they are, I'll be honest with you. But it looks that way, like there's a bunch of other things scattered right there all in a row, just like the top bigger ones here. And it looks like a roadway going off in the distance in the back, going off to the left. Now, I could be totally wrong on this part because it's really, really obscured and it's really hard to tell. And I would get that. But this here, come on. I don't believe that for a minute. I think this is 1,000%. This is proof that this is nowhere is this a mountain. Not at all. There's just too many things on here that look like vehicles and some kind of weird things all in a row here. Look at it all. And you can just see that, like I said, right here. So on and so forth. These things hidden right here. This right here. Another one right here. They're scattered all over the place. And this is what I think happened, guys. Because, come on. Let's be honest. We could do anything with Photoshop here. This right here, from here to here, the very foreground, I believe this is somewhat real, but it's been manipulated. But I think it's real, meaning the real distance, the real McCoy. This, they make it look like it was an old lake bed, so you think, well, lake bed, it's got to be really far away. Well, yeah, that's the intention, to throw you off. So if you were to take all of this out and just move this whole thing over here, that's about the size of it'd be. That's exactly what it is. I think what they do is they did this part first, and you see, I showed you vehicles in there. They were clearly hidden in it. You can see them right there, like I said. Okay, now they took this part, and whatever this was, let's say hypothetically, these were just they were what I'm saying they are, and all they do is they just blew it up a little bit and then pasted it back here. Because you can fudge this. Look at it. It's all like fudged out right here. So they can just blow this whole area up, make it look like it's a giant area, so you get the impression, oh yeah, it is an actual mountain ridge. Look at it. You can just see it. And, wow, it's just miles away. It's not. I mean, and I just can't say it enough. It's just not. That's all there is to it. These are vehicles of some sort, and they're all lined up, and I believe this is a guardrail and running all the way down this thing. And I think this is a roadway, because a couple of these look like they're just, like, slanted. They're in different spots. They're just, I mean, guys, have a look at this thing yourself. In fact, let me do this. I'm going to go back to 100%. Now, if you guys want to, take out the, your magnifiers, you want to look this stuff over, have at it. Stop this video any way you want. Just take a look at this thing. I did. I think it was at 300 or 400%, and I could see these things pretty clearly. So I think this is getting better and better now. And I think Will said this, and I totally agree with him. He said you can almost guarantee there's going to be a breakdown pretty soon. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't, because if they roll closer to this thing, they're going to have to do something. This is going to totally morph. If they keep going, and they're saying they're going into this mountain, somehow one of the wheels are going to fall off, or the last circuit board, the motherboard rather, is going to take a crap in deep six, or something's going to happen. This thing is not going to make it there, I can promise you. And if it does, these things are going to totally morph into something totally different, something you wouldn't even, let's say it just wouldn't come anywhere near the original pictures of Mount Sharp. Let's just put it that way. So just keep, just keep looking back, checking back with these pictures. Like I said, I'm on this because, plain and simple, this is not Mount Sharp. Do I believe there's a Mount Sharp? Yes. This is not it. They're making it to look like that, but it's not. I believe, like I said, they stumble upon some. Well, they didn't stumble upon it because they landed there. I don't think they've been traveling more than a quarter mile or a half a mile or a mile tops total driving around, because they've been looking at this stuff for the longest time, and they've been close to Mount Sharp ever since it landed there. I don't think this thing's been more than a mile away, and I think it's been snooping and looking at everything that's been laying around this Martian surface. You guys can give me your take on it. That's just my thoughts. I'm not saying everybody has to believe that. I'm just saying that's the way I feel. I don't think it's traveled more than a mile, square mile tops. I think it's just had its nose in everything that's laying around here, and that's what they've been sending back. And if these guys are truly, if there is an insider there, and he's doing this doctoring up thing, yeah, keep throwing us a little tidbit here and there. It's always appreciated, because we don't know whether there is or isn't. But if there is an insider whistleblower, hook us up. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. But, guys, give me your take on it. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. Give me your take. Let me know what you think. And throw a comment down below, as usual. I think this is pretty much... If this doesn't clearly show that this is not a mountain, then I don't know what else to say. I mean, I really don't. I mean, it's just... It seems like there's roadways all over this wannabe mountain, which it's not. And 90% of these things, if you look at these mountains, if I'm not mistaken... I could look this up. Well, I already got out of there. But you look at most of them, go back to Google and look at these things. Half this area here is completely cut off. Here's a good example. You don't see any of that at the end. But I did cover the end of this at one point. You can see where that other wannabe part of the mountain. Excuse me. And you'll see I covered this whole area. I think even Christian over there, the Olympus Sky has. So check them out. Check these things out, guys. I mean, the truth is in our face. You just have to look for it. You got to dig. And, I had people commenting saying, well, I can't believe, you're using Photoshop, you're saying that this stuff is Photoshop. Yes, you're using Photoshop to do it. Oh, you're stupid. You're just crazy, man. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it does make sense. Because you have to uncover what they've done. So you got to fight fire with fire, use the tools. Anyway, guys, enough of that. Guys, let me know what you think. I figured I'd just give you my take on the whole thing. I believe this is the real deal. I don't think this is a mountain all. I don't think this ridge even in the background here. Look at this. All the way back here. For all we know, the opportunity could be doing something. They say it's buried. Well, it got stuck in sand. It stopped communicating. Why would it stop communicating? Think about it. Just because you got stuck in sand doesn't mean it's going to stop communicating. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think that thing's off looking at structures. I think it's off. This might have been roadways right here. And where do the roadways go? They got to go to people's houses and structures, right? Well, how do we know that thing's not doing what that, they're just saying, it's completely buried. How do we know? I can't tell. I don't know whether it's getting a signal back and forth from there. Couldn't tell you. But anyway, guys, give me your take on it. Let me know what you think. If you're just a viewer, just go ahead and please subscribe. You can stay apprised of the videos that are coming up next. I'm going to have some other ones as well. I'm going to try to do some more opportunity. I know a lot of people want to see colored photos, but believe it or not, guys, a lot of these are just simply... I think they're just trying to hide more stuff in a lot of these black and whites, and I'm just trying to pull them out. I want to get to the core of the actual truth. The core of the truth is, if Mount Sharp is truly garbage, meaning it's not a mountain at all, at least what they're showing here anyway, and here, in their videos and their pictures rather, then it's 1,000%. It's nothing but a farce. It's a joke. In other words, these guys are not looking at what they say they're looking at. I believe they're looking at things, like I said, were left over from an ancient civilization or not too long ago civilization. Again, give me your thoughts. I'm only just ranting and just telling you what I think. Let me know what you think, guys. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next pick.